A cute and cuddly gray seal, a man and a gorilla, friends like pigs, or a very protective cat. Here are 10 unforgettable moments that were filmed with animals. The gray seal is one of the most affectionate and friendly marine animals you will ever meet. And if you ever doubted it, we strongly invite you to watch this incredible sequence. These images were taken by a scuba diving enthusiast near the coast of the Farne Islands, a small archipelago located off Northumberland, England. Ben Burville, a 49-year-old British doctor, loves to explore the sea and to meet the inhabitants of the sea in order to observe them in their natural environment. This jaded diver thought he had seen everything at the bottom of the ocean, but the encounter he was about to make that day will remain forever engraved in his memory. While surveying the bottom of the cold water, Ben Burville was indeed surprised to come across a nice little group of gray seals, which were swimming nonchalantly at that spot. One of the seals began to literally pet Ben and snuggle up to him like a good, affectionate cat. The mischievous little marine mammal even went so far as to remove his diving mask so he could see his face better, and above all, be able to cuddle and kiss him. Such a scene of affection is all the more rare as seals are generally very fearful and shy, especially towards the human species that long has hunted them for their furs and their fat. One thing remains certain, however. It is that neither Ben nor this affectionate seal will forget this surprising encounter full of emotions. White lions are extremely rare in the wild, as this amazing color gives them a real disadvantage against their prey. The immaculate felines are indeed much more visible than their brown congeners, who have no difficulty to camouflage themselves in the savannah. But we must admit it, white lions are the most majestic and splendid felines that you can find in the world. So watch this surprising sequence, which comes to us without surprises from the United Arab Emirates. In this desert country but full of oil, it is indeed very usual to see the inhabitants adopting real wild animals, preferably lions or tigers, even cheetahs or leopards. It is to believe that the Emirates have become the paradise of felines of all kinds, and this rich inhabitant you see on these pictures has a zoo at home. One of these most emblematic animals is without any doubt this superb white lion with an imposing look. This fearsome feline is filmed in full session of cuddling with his dear fortunate master, and beware of anyone who will disturb this sweet moment. Look at how this terrible carnivore opens his mouth threateningly towards the camera as if to dissuade the cameraman from interrupting his precious cuddling session. Here is a very touching scene which proves once again that man and animal are made to get along well. These beautiful images come from the Pretoria International Primate Rescue Sanctuary, located in South Africa. They feature Chino, a mischievous little brown capuchin, and Louise Smith, a volunteer caregiver with a passion for animals. Over the course of 2 months at this monkey sanctuary, Louise and Chino have developed a real relationship of trust and friendship. This footage she filmed shows just how strong this relationship is. You can see that Chino is trying to teach Louise her favorite game, crushing dead leaves. The little primate loves to crush the dead leaves on the ground and enjoys the sound they make when they are crushed. So we thought that Louise would also appreciate this sound and this feeling in her hand, and that it would probably please her. The mischievous little monkey decided to share the most cherished hobby with the young volunteer, which in primates as in humans, is an undeniable testimony of love and friendship. It is never safe to leave your toddler on a balcony or near an open window, even if you think he or she is too small to reach the ledge. You would be horrified by what a young child can do without adult supervision, from setting the house on fire to the risk of electrocution from electrical outlets. But luckily, when parents are too busy or absent, our beloved pets are on the lookout. And we can tell you one thing, you will never find a better babysitter than the cat that appears on this incredible sequence. The scene shows us a young child of 1 year and 2 months who is happily playing in the balcony of an apartment, but who starts to want to cling to the ledge overhanging the void. Seeing this more than dangerous behavior, it is the family cat who puts our cute little rascal in order by scratching his hands gently so that he lets go. The young rascal will not admit defeat, and backing up a little towards the other side of the balcony, he tries again to get on it. But the austere feline is also categorical and will not admit to let this child that he adores risk his life. He will remain prostrate on the balcony like an ancient sphinx in order to dissuade the young boy to cling to it again. This last one, understanding that the cat was almost intractable, ends up returning inside the apartment in order to play a little less dangerous game. What would you really do if you were the head of a fortune of more than 240 million euros? Would you buy one of these cars in red and gold trim and stamped with a prancing horse? Or maybe you'll buy the mansion of your dreams and live there like a pasha for the rest of your life. John Damien Aspinall, a British businessman, has decided to save gorillas with his huge fortune. This accomplished businessman is indeed the president of the John Aspinall Foundation, whose objective is to breed gorillas and release them into the wild when they reach adulthood. His organization has already rescued many of these great primates, and Damien Aspinall himself takes care of them throughout the long process. The brave man is so close to his gorillas that he does not hesitate to enter their cage and snuggle with them, as if he was literally part of the family. On these amazing pictures, you can see him cuddling Kifu, a gigantic silverback male gorilla who must be about 250 kilograms. It takes a lot of trust to be able to put yourself at the mercy of such an animal, whose powerful arms could tear you apart in no time. But as you can see, Damien is totally confident in Kifu because he knows they have a great friendship for life. Get out your handkerchiefs because this touching sequence might well make you shed a few tears of tenderness. Look at this very nice orangutan, who decided to come down from the top of his favorite tree in order to play with these baby tigers. This huge monkey, native to the tropical forests of Java and Borneo, is indeed the largest tree-dwelling primate in the world. It lives almost exclusively on trees and only comes down very rarely and only when it is assured of the total absence of predators. But no trace of danger in the area because the place is a refuge for wild animals where they are pampered to the small care. Here, everyone is cuddly, and this orangutan is no exception to the rule. You only have to see him pampering these little tiger babies to be convinced. And if that wasn't enough for you, watch him give the bottle to these little feline cherubs with an almost human-like paternal tenderness. After this good little feeding, he only has to give these beautiful baby tigers their little burp and put them to bed. A real model father. African rhinos are among the most powerful and majestic animals of the savannah. But unfortunately for them, they are often victims of their own success. Indeed, the horns of the adult rhinoceros are worth their weight in gold on the Asian black market, where they are reduced to a fine powder and sold in the most renowned apothecaries as an effective remedy for many ailments. So to make this sinister trade work, poachers do not hesitate to kill these protected animals, to then mutilate them by cutting off their horns in an atrocious way. Very often, it is whole families which are thus decimated, and of which only the smallest are spared because they simply did not develop horns yet. Without their parents, these baby rhinos will be condemned to a certain and quick death. But fortunately, a special orphanage has been established in South Africa, and now these little babies have a place to grow up. In this beautiful scene, we can see the fabulous friendship that was born almost spontaneously between the domestic cat and the little orphaned rhinos. Belonging to one of the park's caretakers, this gentle tomcat quickly developed a great affection for these strange animals that he had never seen before. And it must be said that these rhinos do return his love, as well as his mistress, which proves that even the wildest animals can easily be tamed with some good feelings. Nobody really likes to go to the dentist, and for some people, the sound of a drill in action is as unbearable as the trumpets of the Last Judgment. But for our animal friends, it is a sweet moment of pleasure, especially for the huge hippopotamus in this sequence. These amazing images come from the Osaka Zoo in Japan, where the animals are treated like VIP guests, with personalized dental care as the icing on the cake. Admire the animal, which must weigh 4 tons and which comes out of the water to go to its dentist appointment. The huge hippopotamus then opens its mouth wide, which could swallow the poor man in one bite if he wanted to. But he doesn't do anything about it, because for this old jaded animal, this little scaling session is essential for his survival because it allows him to clean his mouth from food debris that could cause him deadly infections. Because if in the wild, it does not have the right to a personal dentist, it is the birds which do the work by cleaning thoroughly the enormous mouth and the teeth of this gigantic mammal. A win-win relationship, since the birds also feed on the waste collected in its mouth. And as always, we have reserved the best for the end, with this funny and unusual sequence to be consumed without moderation. The scene was filmed in the Indian valley of Tirthan in Himachal Pradesh at the end of a small mountain road. The motorists who used to pass by this small peaceful road could sometimes see small squirrels or some field mice, but the meeting they were going to make this day will remain forever engraved in their memories. At the bend in the road, the cars had stopped because a very strange animal was on the road. It was neither more nor less than a beautiful leopard of average size and which obviously had no apprehension towards humans. Quite the contrary, because this young feline even approached the drivers with a curiosity and a desire to play proper to the domestic cats. And indeed, this leopard came out of nowhere and literally started to play with people, exactly like a big cat would do with his masters. And that's it for today. What do you think of these 10 totally irresistible and unforgettable moments filmed with wild animals? Which one of them impressed you the most? Tell us in the comments, and if you liked this video, don't forget to put a like and subscribe and activate the notifications. See you soon for new discoveries out of the ordinary.